bitch.
Cut the boo right there.
Okay, I am like trying to find it, swallowing.
Now we are recording. Now you're not even freaking ready.
Okay, found it. I found it. I just found it.
Finally! Hi everyone, this is Dusk, Anthony, Scarlett,
Matt?
and Zoe.
Yeah.
Me and
No,
Anthony-
but refer to me as Manny now. I changed my name.
Sorry, Molly.
Thank
And-
you.
Oh
And,
god, that the quietness in that. Oh
Me and
god.
Anthony are going to be reading this fic. These two are going to be here because they asked to, because I want them to, and none
So
of
that
you
way
can complain about it.
Because dogs can't live without us.
Because basically,
Yeah, we can't live without them. They're too cool.
he basically doesn't want to lose his sanity if he starts reading
For
this
you.
again.
And also, I am working on some art. So sorry if I make any background noise, but I am working on some art in the background.
I'll alternate from who's reading. Whoever's name appears in the video call, like right now, I clicked on Anthony, so only his profile pic will pop up. That's how they're going to know who's reading and who's not. So they won't be able to, like, concentrate on you guys or get off the fic of concentration. Alright?
Okay.
Okay. Anthony, continue reading when you find your place.
I already found my spot. Okay.
This is Cheerlie's Garden, Part 2, Chapter Intro.
Okay. So he read ahead of me, so it's gonna be. I might have to like refresh my brain. Okay. Swelling back her fear, she stepped out of a cave and onto the highest point of the stage. The mountain summit was located several meters above the mine Scooter had disappeared into earlier. But as it was placed all the way to the back of the stage, even the ponies occupying the front rows could still see the actors up there relatively easily. Cheerlie could hear the crowd talking and whispering to each other as she stepped out of the shadows. They were obviously wondering what in the haze she was doing up there on the stage. Applebloom herself was even more confused, as she had expected to see Snips there, not her teacher. You mean Snips got killed?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah?
Cheerlie,
Be right back, keep on reading.
Miss Cheerlie, why are you... She began to say quietly. Oh, well, that was not quiet. Okay, never mind.
Yes?
I see you have come, O brave king. I applaud your bravery. As a token of my respect, I shall face you here in my one true form. Up till now, witchcraft and sorcery had hidden me from your eyes, but no longer. Tonight, we fight an honest battle. I am like doing like the exact opposite of what their tones are doing. Like, Cheerlee's voice boomed through the complex, easily going over Applebloom's.
The explanation sounded tacky, even to her own ears, but it was the best she'd been able to come up with at such short notice. In a sudden moment of inspiration, she gave Applebloom a conspirator's wink, praying the filly would play along. Whatever the filly had assumed Cheer meant by it, she suddenly grinned and nodded eagerly, as if to say, "Oh, I got it. Oh, fiend! I knew there was more afoot when you bested my most trusted advisors. Witchcraft! This explains a lot indeed," the king responded, Applebloom's accent playing slightly as they strayed from the original script. But the... Fuck. I can't say that word.
The fuchsia?
Oh, okay, thank you. The fuchsia mare couldn't have cared less at that point. So relieved was she to see the other ponies playing along with her ruse.
Well then, let's dance! She cried out as she reached her right hoof under the cloak to draw the knife, keeping 3 hooves on the floor as she pointed the blade at her opponent. The filly in turn took the pommel of her toy sword between her teeth and assumed a combative stance. The sword was far too big for her to carry in a hoof, as Cheerlie did with her knife. So for her, this was the only option. That alone made the odds heavily favor the mare. And on top of that, where one was wielding a real knife while the other had only mostly a harmless plastic toy.
Yep. That's something that sounds like you would say. Well then, let's dance.
Yes.
And then I just put on Michael Jackson, and then I'm the Killjoy in the background who just puts on Michael Jackson music.
You better put on Thriller. Out of all the things, you better put on Thriller or Beat It. If it's not Thriller or Beat It, I'm gonna beat the living crap out of you.
I would have put on bad. I would have put on bad.
Ah, you son of a...
The entire fighting scene had been carefully choreographed, so Apple Bloom naturally stuck to her fuck off predetermined moves, and she expected Cheerlie to play by the book as well. Cheerlie would certainly have been capable of doing so, had she been so inclined, since she was the one who planned out the entire thing. She was, however, extremely anxious to get it all over with quickly. As soon as Apple Bloom advanced, Cheerlie stepped forward as well, intentionally allowing herself to get within reach of the filly's sword. Instead of parrying Apple Bloom's swing with her dagger, as the filly expected, she jerked her head to dodge it, confusing the hay out of the apple bloom and throwing her balance off completely. The fuchsia mare quickly Yeah, that's 2 paragraphs, you son of a bitch. You're not getting past me.
Are you sure? Because remember, we made this argument before. That's connected, so that's just one.
Oh my God. I will argue with you again. It is not connected, damn you.
Bullshit, you didn't argue before. The last time you agreed and continued on.
Because I didn't know if it was connected or not, you son of a bitch.
It's connected. I call it connected. It's not spaced, so it's connected.
It's not connected.
It is connected.
Fine, I'll read it
Are you
again.
guys doing a video?
Yes. The fuchsia mare quickly followed up with an attack of her own, which left a nasty cut over the filly's cheek, almost the twin of the cut Cheerlie still had under her hood. Shut up, Anthony. Apple Bloom let out a sharp cry, more out of surprise than out of pain, as she stumbled backwards. She looked at the red liquid dripping down the tip of the knife, and then at Cheerlie, who stared back coldly from underneath the hood.
Wait, is that a real... She began saying, the words muffled by the pommel in her mouth. But Cheerlie didn't at all feel like letting down the pressure now and simply rushed forward. Apple Bloom panicked and swung her sword, hitting Cheerlie right in the face in the process. Cheerlie almost lost her balance as her head got slammed to the side, but somehow she managed to move it into an 180-degree spin, bucking her hind legs at the filly. She hit her right at the chest, and the sheer force of the blow sent the little one flying across the stage, until she landed roughly on her back a meter or two away.
Kamehameha, motherfucker. The filly took a deep breath, a stinging pain in her chest alerting her to the fact that all was not well, and she didn't seem to be able to draw in as much air as usual, either. She realized Cheerlie had probably broken some of her ribs, and still felt dazed from the landing, too. Her teacher, however, wasted no time and descended upon the fallen Apple Bloom with a vulture, ramming the knife through her right shoulder and into the wooden floor below, effectively pinning her down. The filly held back a shriek of pain and swung her sword again, hitting Cheerlie in the head once more. It barely fazed the mare, although it did piss her off. Oh shit, I have to be quiet, my dad's sleeping.
Genius.
Shut the fuck up. All of a sudden, she brought her head down and headbutted the filly brutally, hoping to knock her out. That was exactly what happened as Apple Bloom's eyes rolled back in her head.
Suddenly becoming acutely aware of the audience staring up at her, Cheerlie remembered her last lines, the words traditionally spoken at the end of a Reginald play, even though she'd had to change it up a bit. She clutched her head, as she had been fatally wounded by that last blow, then spoke dramatically. Oh, what cruel fate now! We both must die! But I implore you all, stallions and mares, never to forget Reginald the Sly! And she'd allowed herself to fall to the floor, remaining there motionlessly. She never understood those words herself, or what moral lesson they were supposed to convey, but they got the job done. The technician got the cue at the curtains to start to close. The audience started stomping their hooves down on the floor and showed their approval.
What freaking dipshits. The play had been, on the whole, pretty well done. And the curious alternate ending did add that certain something. And that certain something something. Bullcrap. Not to mention, that last fighting scene had been gorgeous. It didn't look like they were just pretending at all. With relief, oh, I wonder why. With relief, Cheerlie saw the curtain finally close completely, hiding the stage from the audience's sight. She'd spread the word that the Phillies and herself would have to start breaking down the stage props and cleaning up the backstage area right away, since some other group from Canterlot needed the building later that week. That meant nobody was expecting them back home anytime soon. She threw a glance at the unconscious Philly next to her, who still had the knife embedded in her shoulder, and smiled. She had all the time she needed to figure out something new for this one now. All the time in the world. Jesus fucking Christ, why don't you just rape her and then just burn her body for fuck's
This is a
sake?
cult fic!
I know! But come on, that's at least a dignifying death.
How's
Getting
that
raped
dignifying?
and killed.
How is that dignifying?
Because then you lose your wait. Okay, it sounded better when I said it in my mind.
Yeah!
Members
Yeah!
of virginity, it's 2 mayors.
Okay, now that's why it sounded better in my mind.
Dusky Wusky, think before you fucking speak.
Shut up.
Okay, I'm just gonna...
Shut up!
Actually,
You guys know what happens to me at night.
Christian,
Shut up.
Christian, here's what
What?
I'm just gonna say to you.
Mhm.
Backside gobblers. Now shut up.
I'm done with life. I'm done with this fic. I'm done.
No, get your ass over here. No,
Nope, later, nope,
No,
nope.
Christian.
No,
Christian,
don't leave, don't leave.
Christian, don't you dare leave.
Dusky Wusky!
Leave the rest of the
Dusky
fic.
Wusky!
I heard cupcake.
Cupcake.
Stay here
I'll
for
give
the
you a cookie
cupcake.
if you stay.
I heard somebody say cupcake.
Stay here for the cupcake.
Don't mention backside gobblers again, and okay.
Fine. Then shut up and think for once.
I do, you animatronic tin can.
Eh.
Shut up, you purple somber wannabe.
I'm not a somber wannabe.
I call you a somber wannabe.
How? Okay, now I can see how because of the horn, but come on. I'm not a somber wannabe, damn it.
Somber wannabe. Shut up.
Shut up, Somber Wannabe!
Metal Overlord wannabe.
Mm.
The somber
I
wannabe
think
wearing a
that's-
Pokemon costume. There. Shut up.
How dare you insult Pokemon?
I insult Pokemon. I'm disgraced to
How
myself.
dare he insult Pokemon!
I'm disgraced to myself, but that's the only way to get in the shop.
Okay,
How dare
back to
you.
the fanfic.
I'm done with life. So my bestest bro insulted life.
Dusk, I'm
insulted
dying with
Pokemon.
you. How
No,
dare
no.
you?
Well, that's
Pokemon.
life for you. Life for me is
I'm gonna go hate
anime.
myself later.
No, get your ass back over here.
Dusk, when you're done. Dusk, when you're done. Give me the rope.
Okay, I just realized what I said. I did not mean it. Okay,
Now on with
Anthony
the
just
fic.
yeah.
Yay.
We
Fine,
got
fine.
completely off rail, and then we're just trying to get back on rail again.
Apple, in her half-awake state, suddenly felt the cold glass being pressed against her lips. She
Now
instinctively
this is
opened her
Anthony
mouth.
Saturday night, everyone.
She instinctively opened her mouth to drink, quickly swallowing what she believed to be water. It only took her a few sips to realize, even in her groggy state, that she wasn't drinking what she was drinking wasn't water at all. For one, it had sort of a metallic aftertaste, and for another, there was small bits and pieces in that sort of resembled. At once, she was wide awake, coughing and spitting out last of the fluid in her mouth. She had been bound to some sort of wooden table with leather straps. She saw Cheerlie standing next to her, holding a glass filled with red liquid. She grinned wickedly at her. I thought you'd like it. Scootaloo made it herself, you know. She really
Nah.
poured herself into it, you could say.
The mirror crackled maniacally.
That doesn't sound maniacally. That sounds more like a chipmunk that just went high on acid.
I'm gonna remember that. That's Shirley's maniacal laugh, though. As horror flashed across the Philly's face. Scootaloo, you. killed her? Oh yes, afraid so. She was the first to go, you know. And you're the last, the mayor said, feeling uncharacteristically chatty. The filly turned pale. You killed all of them? Oh,
Oh,
goodness,
goodness,
no.
no. Oh, wait, what did
Oh,
I do?
fuck, I forgot it's you. No, you read now, you son of a bitch.
Oh, goodness, no, she replied, grinning as relief spread over the filly's face. I didn't kill Snails. That was all you. The way you made that spotlight, or sun if you wish, fall down on him. Glorious. Tears filled up Apple Bloom's eyes as the realization hit that all of her friends were gone, and that her fate wasn't likely to be any different. Why? She managed to laugh as Shirley picked up the knife and held it up to the light appraisingly.
Because I am Saw, and I'm going to play, and we're going to play a
That is
game.
not in the script! Read from the script!
That's read from the motherfucking script.
Anthony, you sounded really pissed.
No, I can easily make myself sound pissed in any given situation, or happy.
No, why'd you yell at me like that? Why? Why? Because you all deserve it. Each and every one of you is a blight upon this land and a weed in my garden, and it's time to end it. The mayor said coldly as she positioned herself at the end of the table near the filly's hind legs. So shall we? Slowly and carefully, the mayor made an incision above the filly's hoof, cutting neatly around the circumference of her leg. Applebloom tried to squirm, but the leather straps effectively held her in place as they dug into her skin. Cheerlie slipped a knife under her skin carefully, cutting the skin loose from the filly's flesh. The pain this caused was immense, but the filly clenched her teeth and refused to acknowledge it, every bit as stubborn as her sister was, not wanting to give Cheerlie the pleasure of hearing her scream.
Shirley obviously thought that
Oh my.
she cut enough for now. As she took, you son of a bitch, she took hold of the flat of the skin. She cut loose with her teeth. Slowly she pulled it up the filly's legs, ripping more skin off as she went, flaying the filly alive. Despite her brave effort, this was simply too much for any pony to endure quietly, and Applebloom's scream rang out throughout the entire empty complex.
Applejack!
Cheer continued making new incisions every time she accidentally tore the skin completely off, and then continued the flaying from there. Pretty soon half of the filly's leg was a bloody heap of bare flesh, every little twitch going through the exposed muscles, an agonizing experience, blood dripping from everywhere. But Cheer showed no sign of stopping as she continued cutting and flaying, slowly moving up. Eventually, the filly's entire leg was a disgusting, skinless mess. Cheerly sadistically breathed out on it for a while, making Applegloom shiver in pain. A little light sparkled in Cheer's eyes, you son of a bitch, as she bowed down and extended her tongue, slowly dragging it all the way from the filly's hoof up to her flank.
Oh
For a moment.
my.
If you do that one more time, I'm gonna mention the pick again.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna mention the pick again if you keep that up. So as she bowed down and extended her tongue, slowly dragging it all the way from the filly's hoof up to her flank. For a moment the mare thought the screams that followed would deafen her permanently, but she pulled her tongue back into her mouth and savored the taste.
And then Dust said, oh my god. That's one crazy bitch.
Continue?
Okay. Oh, yes! Yes, I love this line.
What's it towel in your
You're
room?
quite good.
No, hang it in the damn bathroom.
Want a taste? She whispered in the filly's ear. But Buck, you! The Humor Crusader managed to stammer. Cheerily laughed, amused by Applebloom's defiant nature. This one may be able to take some punishment yet. She diligently started cutting up the filly's other leg, making making a long incision across the length of the leg this time. Pulling the skin off towards the side instead of upwards. The filly still tried to resist and
Okay, I'm back.
keep up appearances. But she slowly started sobbing and shivering as the pain became too much to bear. Her breathing becoming rage, and her
Ragged.
skin fuck off. And her skin turning pale as her vividly scarlet blood coated the floor. I love that line. You're quite good. Want a taste? I like that
As,
line.
as she gained more confidence
Anthony.
with shut up, with you. Shut up. Gained more, when she, as she gained more confidence with a knife, her movements started to become quicker, and in one fluid motion, she first
Oh my.
cut the backside gobblers.
Please shut the fuck up, Dusk.
Dusk, backside gobblers. Now shut up.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I told you to shut up, or else I would mention this pig again. But no.
It was too hard to resist. You said you kept on going fast. It was too hard to resist.
She picked up the two pieces. Oh wait. First cut of the skin from the filly's left
Dusk?
flank, and then moved right over to cut this off the skin on the right. She picked up two pieces of skin with her teeth and held them before the filly, before tossing them aside. Saw those? Those were your cutie marks would have been, if you had one. You never will now.
Oh.
Guess your crusading days are over.
Okay, I
Oh, that
fucking
was a
hate Cheerlie.
huge
I kind of
burn.
thought that was ironic.
That was cruel.
That was kind of funny to me.
It kind of was. This realization finally did what the pain hadn't been able to do to Apple Bloom. It shattered the filly's last vestiges of resistance. From one moment to the next, she started to cry loudly, her body shaking wildly, using up way more energy on all that than she should. Cheer started cutting out strips of skin on the filly's chest until the word weed was spelled out there. By now, the filly had lost enough blood and wasted enough energy that her responses started to become sluggish, ruining some of Cheerlie's fun. She tried poking the knife into a few pressure points, but her reaction was so underwhelming that Cheerlie shrugged and decided to call it quits. She undid the leather straps and pulled a tub out from under the table, the exact same one she had squeezed Scootaloo out into earlier, and Scootaloo was still there.
Oh, that's
Anthony,
right.
you son of a bitch.
Shut up.
Come on, you lazy motherfucker.
Okay, not wanting to simply wait until Apple Bloom bled. Oh,
I
shut
said
up.
read.
Shut up. You do realize that you take about as long sometimes. Shut up.
Shut up.
You hypocrite. Okay, not wanting to wait
Yes, I am.
until Apple Bloom bled out, the mare pulled her off the table by her hair, dropping her straight into the tub. The blood and pieces of gore suddenly surrounding her stung on her bare flesh, and she let out a soft hiss. As Apple Bloom took in the scent of the blood and saw an eye drifting slowly by, she suddenly realized just what she had dropped in. This notion seemed to renew her strength as she scrambled to get out of the tub, but Cheerlie would have none of it. She grabbed the filly by her hair with a hook and forced her down into the pool of blood, keeping her mouth and nostrils under. The filly screamed, swallowing mouthfuls of Scootaloo in the process, as she thrashed her legs about wildly, splattering the contents in the tub everywhere. Air bubbled up from her mouth, but Cheerlie kept her there firmly, ecstatic to see the filly's struggling die down slowly. As Apple Bloom's lungs started to burn more, she involuntarily tried to breathe anyway, filling her lungs with blood and gore. After a last erratic twitch from one of her legs, Apple Bloom remained motionless. The fuchsia-colored mare awaited a few more seconds before finally releasing the filly. Apple Bloom's mutilated body just kept laying there, in the pool of blood that had once been Scootaloo, and Cheerlie knew her task had finally come to an end. All that was left was to simply clean up. She sat back and cried tears of joy, overcome with emotion as she realized she might finally get her life back on the rails now. With the new class next year, a class of nice fillies and colts instead of the monsters she had had.
I need to mute myself for a minute, guys.
Huh?
Yeah. You know, I might have to go too.
What?
I think I got some important business with some Crusader, with a Scootaloo.
Come
You
on,
continue
Ro.
reading this for me.
Fine, I'll read it for you. And I was just lying about the whole Scootaloo thing. I was trying to get out of the
Yeah, I realized that.
fic. I'll read it for Scarlet.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't read it for me. You would have stopped a long time ago.
You don't say. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's continue.
She felt proud to have played her part in making Equestria a better place. Proud to have protected the future generations from poisonous influences that would have hampered their growth, which in turn would have hampered others. The consequences would have been quite dire, to say the least. Humming a cheerful tune, she went to get cleaned up once again, and then went over to her stash of flammable liquids. It'd taken some time by herself. It'd take some time by herself, but she'd get the job done. She felt like she was walking on clouds. Nothing would stop her now. Fire spun up all around her, stopping her right in her tracks. She realized too late she had no thought this through. She spread flammable stuff everywhere and then lit a few fires in different places, but she had underestimated the speed at which the flames would spread. And now she was here, not too far from the exit, but unable to proceed due to the problem she herself had created.
She backed off to the center of the room as far away from the flames as possible, but as soon as she got there, she had already had to jump out of the way of the burning crossbeam, which only barely missed her. Various patches of fur on her body were already singed from flames, and she just barely dodged, and soot and ash covered her from the tip of the hoof. Smoke started to fill the room, and Cheerlie felt herself slowly suffocating as every breath she took drew some more of it from her into her lungs. As her breathing became more troubled, she laughed softly, wondering if her day of liberation would also be the day she died. She consoled herself that a noble death, after having completed the mission, would still infinitely be better than the life she had been living before, in a world where the Colts and Fillies were still alive.
Now, where's my Xbox controller? Where we leave off. I'm totally still reading this fic. Totally.
Waiting.
Hold on. I'm doing something important. Found something. Found another thing. I turned on a thing. I turned on another thing. Okay. Some smoke started to fill the room, and Cheerlie felt herself slowly suffocating as every brush. Wait. Just as he started to think the situation was hopeless, a burst of purple light exploded from the exit ahead. Wood splintered in the explosion. Surprisingly, the blast seemed to have sucked the life out of most of the flames between her and the exit. So summoning the last of her strength, Cheerlie made a beeline for the exit. As she got closer, she could hear voices talking to each other urgently. Worry thick in their voices. Do it again, Twy! Do it again!
That took a lot out of me. I don't think this is the best way to. Cheerlie burst out of the burning building. Smoke trailed behind her. She collapsed on the grass just outside of the theater complex. Immediately, several ponies rushed forward to help her. As she looked up and she saw Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, Rarity, and Fluttershy standing out around there, with concerned look in their eyes.
Are you okay? Fuck off. Are you okay? Where are the children? I teleported us all here as soon as we saw the smoke, Twilight said, the other 5 nodding. Cheerlie opened her mouth, her voice hoarse and cracking from the smoke as she spoke. They, inside, fire, no idea how, she said, but the effort took a lot out of her.
Shoot, we can't wait! We need to get him now! Rainbow Dash cried. Just wait, the Pit Purple Mare replied calmly. I can see other ponies crossing the river already. Pretty soon
Damn it! Rainbow Dash didn't listen. Utilizing her trademark speed, she dashed through all the flames and disappeared into the building, quickly followed by Rarity and Applejack, who were both yelling the names of their respective little sisters. What now? Fluttershy said shakily as she and Pinkie Pie waited for Twilight's direction.
Form a bucket line, the unicorn commanded, and the other 2 ponies quickly dashing off in the direction of the river to organize the other ponies in one long line. As the first buckets got passed to the front and thrown in the fire, both Cheerlie and Twilight could see the effort was in vain. The water didn't seem to make any difference as bucket after bucket was thrown onto the flames, yet they kept getting bigger and hotter. From where she lay on the ground, Cheerlie suspected that any evidence against her might already be long lost, but she wasn't willing to take the bet. Suddenly, the purple pony seemed to get fed up with waiting and worrying about her friends, and the idea came to her. She called upon her magical reserves, straightening herself at maximum as her horn began to glow more and more. Ponies watched in awe as a purple trail of light sprang up between the river and the theater, and the river started to alter its course.
In a matter of seconds, a wall of water suddenly rushed forward to the theater walls, crushing everything in its path. Cheerlie was hit by a rush of panic. This just might be enough to put out the fire. She shouldn't have worried. Although the unleashed fury of the river did indeed put an end to the flames, it also washed away the weakened theater building itself, smashing it all against the ground. As Twilight, exhausted, stopped applying her magical might to it, the water of the river started to recede, dragging a lot of rubble and the like with it. Twilight looked around the disaster area fearfully for a few moments, but breathed a sigh of relief as her 3 friends climbed from between the rubble, battered, bruised, and a little singed. Singed. Shut up. But otherwise okay. But the Phillies and Colts they'd been looking for were nowhere in sight. Twilight threw a few questioning glances at her friends, but they all shook their heads as tears filled their eyes. Nobody had managed to find any of them in the inferno. As the reality of the situation hit them, their emotions got the best of them as they let out their tears.
They were quickly joined by the weakened Cheerlie, which shed tears of pure relief. A week or 2 had passed since the incident, and a lot had happened. Several investigations had looked into the cause of the fire, but the fire itself and the water that followed had destroyed anything that could have given the investigators even the slightest clue. Cheerlie always looked confused and heartbroken whenever she got questioned, claiming she was taking care of something on the other side of the complex when the fire broke out. Although some ponies wondered if this couldn't be considered some form of negligence, no official complaints against her were filed.
Dipshits! During the weekend following the disaster, a joint burial ceremony was held for all the Phillies and Colts who died at once. Oh, wait. Never mind. The clean effort had been ongoing for an entire week, and even now, bits and pieces of rubble still turned up here and there. During the weekend following the disaster, a joint burial ceremony was held for all the fillies and colts who died at once. Although all the caskets had been filled with stones and belongings of the dead, since none of the bodies had been found. Every pony got very emotional, including Cheerlie, who cried tears of joy as her struggle finally came to an end. A lot of ponies came to tell her that it was okay, and things would be alright, or that it wasn't your fault. Cheerlie constantly had to take care not to accidentally respond to these in the wrong way, so she was quite relieved when it was finally over.
Oh! We're near the end!
My fucking happy dance at the end of this.
And so 2 weeks I'm gonna finish it off. Sorry.
Okay, go right ahead.
And so 2 weeks passed. Cheerlie grunted and moaned, sweating profusely in the warmth of the sun. It had taken her a lot of effort, and she'd certainly been sore in the morning, but she didn't care. She'd finally done it. She took a few steps back to admire her work and marveled at the perfect state her garden was. Once again, in there she made a solemn vow and sacred pact with herself. I,
Cheerlie will never... Come on, let's do it at the exact same time from the
Fine.
beginning. Ready? 1,
1,
2,
2,
3. I,
Cheerlie,
Cheerlie,
will
never let any weeds take over my garden ever again. Jesus Christ, you suck!
It's kind of hard to follow against you because you're like stopping as well.
I was trying to follow you!
I thought I was trying to follow you.
Okay, you read, I follow.
Fine. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I, Cheerlie, will never let any
Weeds take over my garden ever again. Are you trying to fall off me again?
No, I was like trying to slow down for you because you were like behind.
Oh, goddamn, I was actually ahead of you. What the hell? On my head said I'm a second behind in talking. Remember?
Okay, I'll count off.
Okay.
Fine.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
I, Cheerlie, will never let
any
Jesus fucking
weeds.
Christ.
God, we were perfect. We were doing good.
It sounded so wrong to me.
So,
It was like a second behind for me.
yeah.
Ah,
Jesus Christ. Okay, let's just stop right here. This has been
Okay.
chapter 1. Fuck this shit. Fuck you all. Fuck the creator who made this. Fuck you, Anthony. I didn't actually mean fuck all you guys. You guys are amazing. I love you all as family. I'll see you guys later, next time, maybe. I don't know. Fuck the creator of this fanfic. Fuck Anthony for showing me the fanfic. See you all later.